You guys will not stop asking me this question, and I don't blame you for not asking me this question because, well, today has some sentimental value to me. About a year and a half ago, late June, I did this live stream in desperation, and I asked everyone that attended the live stream to please, with tears in my eyes, consider subscribing to this channel because I had dreams of becoming an NBA content creator. And well, thankfully, a lot of you guys did, and now I am blessed to be doing this job full time. So for those of you guys asking, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are once again doing our yearly NBA draft live stream. Now, the link isn't live yet. A link to that is going to be in the description down below. I'm probably going to make it members only, and I made a brand new membership that's fairly cheap. It's like $3 so you guys could chat. That way we don't get a lot of toxicity this time. The ones that want to talk basketball with me could talk basketball with me without having to deal with a bunch of like craziness. So I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. We're going to be going live at about 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I hope we have a good time there, man, because this stream is very sentimental to my life and to my heart. Also, we're going to start doing 2K rebuilds on my TheFlightMike TV channel. A link to that's in the description down below as well. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you want to support the channel, bro. Now that we got that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, Daryl Morey's presence is already being felt in Philadelphia. And no, he didn't magically make Ben Simmons capable of shooting threes. However, he was able to acquire an individual that was able to make some threes because, well, there's a lot of things that we have to discuss over here before we get to Daryl Morey, because the OKC Thunder are kind of going crazy as well. So before I even get to this trade about the Philadelphia 76ers, I got another rumor right here, and I'm not going to make a dedicated video on this rumor. So before we get to the official trade, there's a rumor that the Mavericks and the Thunder are discussing a trade that would send Danilo Gallinari to the Dallas Mavericks in a sign and trade deal. This would send the 18th overall pick to the OKC Thunder. At this point, I think the OKC Thunder have something like 20 picks over the next 5 drafts. This trade hasn't officially gone through, but I'm anticipating that it will because, well, Mark Cuban apparently is trying to build a team and a roster strictly of overseas international players, and the OKC Thunder are just trying to build the greatest team from 5 years from now. Honestly, I've never seen such an aggressive rebuild in my life, but I felt like I should bring this to your attention before we get to the real reason why you're watching this video, because according to the man, the myth, the legend, Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj himself, he hit us with a bomb saying that the Philadelphia 76ers are trading Al Horford and a first-round pick and a second-round pick to the Thunder for Danny Green, sources tell ESPN. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not all, because the Sixers are also sending the rights to Serbian point guard Vasilije Micic to the Thunder. I definitely butchered that. Micic is considered one of Europe's top point guards. Guys, I don't have to tell you how big of a W this is for the OKC Thunder. They're rid of the worst three-point shooter in NBA history. I'm just kidding. Since the NBA draft is tonight, let's talk about the Thunder side of things right now. I am beginning to feel like Sam Presti might actually use at least like 60 to 70% of these picks. And the mentality and the logic will be, let's draft as many players as we possibly can in the top 34, because in the top 34 tonight, Sam Presti has the number 25 pick and the number 28 pick. In addition to the 34th pick in the draft, I feel like Sam Presti is just going to be shooting as many shots in the NBA draft, thinking, hey, one of these picks are bound to hit, because they're going to use 3 picks tonight to facilitate their rebuild. Now, I think this is great asset management once again from Sam Presti, because of course Daryl Morey is looking at this roster. I don't know if Elton Brand had to do with this or Daryl Morey. I'm going to assume it was Daryl Morey. He probably looked at the roster and said, dude, this Al Horford guy and this Joel Embiid guy, based off of how much you're paying each of them, this is a horrible utilization of our cap space, because Al Horford, they tried bringing him off of the bench last year. He's like 35 years old. This is the classic case of a team offering a horrific contract and draft capital to a team that can get them out of that horrible contract in return for, of course, some draft capital. But in addition to that, let me tell you why this is such a win. The Philadelphia 76ers also fill a huge position of need. Now, I know on your screen, you're watching a Danny Green montage of missed threes, and that's because I can't find a Danny Green montage of a bunch of made threes. So please bear with me here. I'm not trying to throw shade at you, Danny Green, but you should have made more threes with the Lakers. Jokes aside, the Sixers have been missing three-point shooting ever since they let JJ Redick walk out that door last year. And this fills a position of need for them. They're getting a player that's a very valuable player. And I know Laker fans love bagging on Danny Green, because once you go and play for Los Angeles, people are going to bag on you. Look at what happened to Paul George. Seriously, I can't even make a pandemic PS5 joke about Paul George without people hating on me for it on his video. But you see, the Sixers are able to get Danny Green, who is going to not only play phenomenal defense, but also adds three-point shooting. So they essentially went from a very clogged paint and a very clogged floor to a player that'll help them space the floor. This is a huge step in the right direction. I'll happily give up 2 draft picks in this year's draft, so I don't have to pay Al Horford a max contract over the next 3 years while he is clearly past his prime. So for the Sixers, I can't even give him an A or an A+. I gotta give him like an A quadruple plus for this trade. Daryl Morey's presence is already being felt for the Philadelphia 76ers. And honestly, Sixer fans, you better thank God for Daryl Morey, because there is no way Elton Brand would have been able to make a trade like this. This has Daryl Morey's fingertips all over it, especially because, well, Elton Brand was the individual that went ahead and signed Al Horford last year. Elton Brand traded Markelle Fultz for a player that's currently a free agent as well. I'm not trying to bag on Elton Brand, because for some reason every single time I make a video about the Philadelphia 76ers, I start bagging on Elton Brand, but I just want to give credit where credit is due, especially because Daryl Morey follows us on Twitter, so we got to make sure the man gets his respect for doing this. Now, I'm going to ask you guys right now to go to the comment section down below and grade the trade for both sides. The Thunder get exactly what they want. They get more draft picks so they can facilitate their rebuild. They're able to bring in another veteran, which might be good for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's development and all the other young guys' development. Whereas the Philadelphia 76ers literally start building their team the way it should be built. Now, of course, Danny Green has a remarkable contract. He might get traded once again. The fact that the Philadelphia 76ers were able to get out of Al Horford's contract makes this a huge W, because Al Horford probably had, and I know I say this in every video, probably had the 3rd worst contract in the entire NBA, or the 2nd worst contract in the entire NBA. Now, I expect the Thunder to take Al Horford and do the exact same thing they did with Chris Paul last year. Bring him in, put him in a situation where he'd succeed, make him look like a freaking beast, and then flip him the very next season when his contract doesn't look as bad. A 2-year max doesn't look nearly as bad as a 3-year max. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I think both sides get a huge W for this trade. I think it's an A+ for this trade. Aside from that, I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and by the time you watch this video, we might be live streaming the NBA draft on YouTube, and a link to that's either in the end screen or in the description down below.